everyone, welcome to my channel. And if you haven't been before to my channel, I like to make quick and easy things on knitting machines as well as all kinds of other crafty fun stuff. So today, this is kind of a sequel. I did one on some really cute propagation jar sweaters that were more fall colors in design. And these basically keep out the algae and keep your propagation water a little bit warmer this time of the year. And this version is the Christmas version because they look so cute. So I'm going to show you how to make these. And if you want a little bit more detailed, go to my previous video, the one that has the fall colored ones. But I'm going to talk you through this one. Here are the supplies that you will need. An Addi, which I like so much better than Sentro, but Sentro will work because Addi has a counter. Worsted weight yarn, that's really important because if you get too thin of a yarn, it's gonna let the light in and then it won't help as far as algae goes. It'll still look cute, but it won't keep the light out. These rounded propagating jars on the stand you can get on Amazon, links in the description. Scissors and yarn needle as usual. Here we go. I'm going to jump right into how to make this thing. This is also a great video that will show you how to do stripes on your knitting machine. So that's another good thing you can learn from this video. Okay, here we go. So here we cast on, simple cast on. With the silver metallic is what I did. You can do whatever you like. So yeah, simple cast on, and you can see I went all the way around and stopped at the black. That's where you're going to stop for these different rows. That's 2 rows. And I usually don't count that very first row because it's just a cast on. So now we have 3 rows of the silver on there. And now I'm going to switch to another color. And here's how you do that. You snip the thread, leaving a little tail, put it in between. And then you take the next color and put it right there in between. Close that and turn it just until both of those are pulled in, and then do just one tie. Don't do a final tie yet. I'm going to show you later how to do the final tie. So 3 rows of this color. And we're gonna switch again. Cut it, put it in between the black and the white one. Not that it has to be there, but it needs to be in the same place every time. And I decided to do it in between the black and the white one. Oops, wrong color. Okay, there we go. And hold it until it pulls both of those under. Then do one temporary tie just to keep it kind of down so that it doesn't get in the way when you come back around again. And we're going to do 3 rows of that color. And switch again. So the pattern on this is, if you want to do it exactly like mine, which you don't have to, but what I did is 3 rows of the silver, 3 rows of the green, 3 rows of the silver again, 3 rows red, 3 rows silver, 3 rows green, and then 20 rows of the silver because that's going to be the inside of it. So just gray, green, gray, or silver, green, silver, red, silver, green, 3 rows of each of those, and then 20 of whatever color you're going to use for the inside that's not really going to show. Keep doing that every 3 rows. Like I said, you can be creative and do whatever you want. You could do a wider band in the middle. What I have noticed is it looks best if you don't just do 1 row of something. It doesn't really look like a line when it's just 1 row. So I would suggest doing at least 2 rows, but I really like the look of 3 rows. But if you want to do more, knock yourself out. Like, you could do 6 rows, you could do anything you want. Be creative and make your own little ornament. Yeah, we're still look at one more gray row and one more green row. Pull it in, tie it temporarily. Don't pull it too tight here, but just tight enough that it will stay inside and out of the way when you come around again. If you need to know any basics, like how to do that simple cast on, how to take it off, how to cast it off, you know, any of those simple things, I have simple guides on my channel. It's quick little simple, I'm just showing you how many rows I have there going. I have quick, simple tutorials on my channel on how to do all these things, simple cast on, just how to knit, how to do anything. So but this is the only one so far that I've done how to do stripes, so this is a good tutorial for that as well. All right, we're doing the 20 rows of silver that's going to be on the inside. 20. Okay, last one. You're gonna leave a nice long tail because you're gonna cast it off on this one. Cut it, put it in the middle there. You're gonna turn it around to release the stitches. But don't go all the way around. Keep it a few from the beginning, because if you go too close to the beginning, the stitches are going to start popping off before you have a chance to pull them off with the needle. So now we're getting the needle, threading it. I really like the metal bent end needles. They look so much better. Okay, see how I didn't start on the one I came out of, but the very next one. And I like to hold the next one, especially on that first one. But whenever I'm pulling, see how I hold the next stitch just so I don't accidentally pull it off. It's a little trick that helps me. It's just, you know, it's not the end of the world if you pull them off. You can get them back on, but it's kind of a pain. So I just like to prevent that. And I'm not pulling it really tight. I'm just pulling up the slack. And when you get around where it's still hooked on and you can't pull it off, then you can turn it around and release it the rest of the way. All right, now we're gonna take it off. All done, and I'm just pulling that to not close it, but just to make it not loose, you know, take out the slack. All right, now I'm turning it inside out so that I can tie these. So I didn't fuss with this too much because I knew if the stripes weren't perfectly lined up, I could tune it to the back. But if you're doing a project where you want those stripes to really line up well, look at it from the front as you're tightening them, because if you pull one way and one a little bit the other way, you can actually straighten out the stripe and you'll see that the front looks nicely lined up that way. So that's how you can make the front look perfect when you're doing stripes. Obviously you don't want to pull this too tight, you're just closing the hole. If it's too loose, you'll have a hole there, but too tight and you're gonna pull it in. We don't want to pull it in, we're just closing that hole and cutting the excess. That's all going to be on the inside, so it doesn't matter how much excess you leave on there. All right, now we're going to turn the outside over that inside part. Oh, first I turned it all the way right side out so that I could see what I was doing better. Okay, so there, I folded the silver part inside the outside part. And now I'm just going to sew this side together. So I'm going to take the long end that I have there, and I'm going to line up the starting points. All right, and then careful not to pull this too tight. We don't really want this. We just want to take out the slack. We don't want to tighten it so that it has a hard time getting around the propagating jar. We want to make it really easy to take these on and off because, you know, as you know, we have to change the water pretty frequently on these jars. So now you're going to find the stitches. How you find the stitches is you'll see that they are a little loop that has one yarn going through them. Here I'm just tying the ends together. Okay, now you're going to, here you can see that along, you can see the little, that's the one we're at, this is the next one, and you can see the stitch there, and you can see that there's a yarn going through it. So you're going to go through the stitch and you can go around the yarn that's going through it. And we're just going to connect stitch to stitch with a whip stitch here. So you see I'm showing you the different stitches, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can see that's the little loops that have the yarn going through them. I'm going to pick those up and whip stitch that together all the way around. If you don't get the one that's going through it, it doesn't really matter actually, because we're not going to pull it out anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. But I was just getting up under it to pull it in. I'm not sure it makes really much difference. Okay, we're just going to go all the way around. And that's something to be grateful about. Sorry about getting out of frame here. Get back in. Just there we go. When you're concentrating on what you're doing, sometimes you forget to check that I'm still in the viewer, in the view of the camera. Alright, now I'm just going to take a little stitch and tie it off. Another little knot. And then I'm going to hide them. Cut it and hide the tail inside. We're going to stick the ends in there, in the inside. Finish up these last few stitches. Notice on short, I put the needle in first, then thread it, then pull it. That's a trick when you got a short yarn. All right. Next thing we're going to do is pull up around the bottom. Now, if you're doing these round prop jars, it looks great. Do it like this. It looks like an ornament. You can make these just on, ball jars. They don't look like ornaments, obviously, but they're still cute. And if you're going to do that, don't tighten the bottom all the way up. Leave it open on the bottom so that they can sit flat on the table. Otherwise, if you pull up around it like this, and it's not in one of those holders, it's going to fall over. But this looks adorable and works perfect when you have the rounded bottom prop jar holder to sit them in. So I'm just going through every other stitch or so. Doesn't really matter, just evenly around the top, in and out. Try not to split yarn if you can, because it's easier to pull it through if it's not in the yarn. Saw those little loose loops and I just pulled them in. Okay, I'm all the way back to the beginning and a little bit past. Now I'm going to pull those up, tie it off. I decided I wanted to go a little further around. Now I'll pull it up and tie it off. Sometimes that just makes the closure a little bit rounder. I also have a detailed video on how to close tubes in different ways. So if you need some more basics on how to do that, that is also on my channel. just hiding the ends inside. In between the two layers. Okay, there's that. And now basically we're going to do the same thing around the top, but make sure you have a long enough piece. You want to have a nice long end so that, because this is the one you're going to be opening and closing whenever you take the jar out to clean out the water and stuff. So don't make this one too short, or it might be a little annoying if you accidentally pull it out when you're opening it up to clean your jar. So again, I'm just going in every other stitch along the top. This one I'm being a little bit more neat about it because it's going to show a little bit more. Leaving a nice long tail on both sides. How many of you are houseplant fanatics like me? Tell me in the comments. I love these though. The prop jar covers are just, because I got so tired of the algae, you know, it looked gross. And so I was having to change them way too often. So this is going to prevent the algae, and they look super cute. Okay, got it all the way through around now. I'm going to put my jar in there. I just love these round jars. I think they are so cute. Again, the link is in the description to those and on Amazon. They come in like a set of 3 or 5, or I think maybe even 7. And I'm just tying a bow because again, you're going to want to open and shut this a lot. If I had this sitting on the stand, I wouldn't be having this much trouble keeping it upright. But you see, we just tie it tighter on there, and that's what makes it look like a cute Christmas ornament. And then I just put them at the back. I put the bow at the back so that you don't really see it, and it looks like a Christmas ornament. So there's our cute Christmas ornament. I hope you like this tutorial. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of knitting fun. And I hope you have great success with your beautiful Christmas ball propagating jar covers. I'll see you next video. Bye.